Good morning, and today's going to be 10-9 of clubs. We are short-handed at a 5 NL game. Um, I open raise, fold around, and the big blind calls. So we are looking at probably something like this. We're under the gun, so we're usually playing a little bit tighter. Six-handed, maybe we should add a few more hands, but again, we are opening first player to act. So tend to take on the tighter range. So I'm just going to go with here. Pretty tight. See what happens. Open races. And then this guy calls. This guy's playing 47%, 9% pre-flop raise, 0% 3-bet. It's when we look at his ranges, he's playing 75% in the small blind, 75% in the big blind. He's calling from the small blind 100%, calling 2/3 of the time from the big blind. We only have 34 hands on him at this point, but it looks like he's going to be calling a lot of hands. And we do have like limp and call to raise with like suited aces, suited kings, play the turn draws aggressively. And here we've got call 2-bet from blinds range king 8 off, which could it's probably this hand here. But in order to get to that, we're looking at a pretty wide range. So I'm going to go with the 66.8% again. Suited aces, suited kings, a lot of suited hands, a lot of offsuit hands, a lot of big hands, just somebody that wants to see a lot of flops. So we see a flop of 7-5-5 with 2 spades. We're going to assume this guy's going to check to us. I mean, he does donk, but I don't think this is really a board that is a good donking range. So he checks, and now it's to us. I think when we break it down, I think I look at it as saying, okay, we don't really have a huge number of flush draws or gut shots. We're going to miss this board, but we do have a lot of over pairs. So just out of our range, we're going to have like over 30% of the time we'll have an overpair here in our range, and we're going to be betting that. So if we just do an overpair and a full house overpair plus, let's say that, we're at 36%. Twice that in numbers, 72%, which basically means we're going to be betting 100%. Just to balance, but I think that's probably the right thing, because when we look at villain's range here, we're dealing with just such a massive number of cards in the range that don't really have anything, that he's going to have to get rid of these excess hands at some point, and that point could easily be the flop. So because he has such a wide range, and because it's unlikely that he would have connected, I think we are going to be c-betting 100% in this spot. Pretty darn close to 100%. So if we see bet, what are we dealing with? Well, pot 6.4, I think we're probably betting half to 2/3, probably leaning more towards 2/3. Larger size, kind of get more fold equity here. And even if he calls, I think he's going to be fairly weak. So I think we go larger. What do? I check, and I think that's a big mistake. I think that is my number one mistake here in this hand right now. It's not playing hand, it's the c-betting. I think we c-bet this hand and then go from there. So like, what hands do we check? I have absolutely no idea. Maybe we slow play. I guess that's an idea. Let's say here, maybe we're still playing full house. Can't even imagine 3 of a kind. If we slow play 3 of if we slow place a full house, then maybe we also include his LP. This is crazy. Let's do 9-8. Yep. Oops. That's not what we want. Okay, so we got 9-8. Actually, let's just do the gut shot. Maybe that, yeah. Maybe 10-9. Go for that. Maybe that's just it. Um, and again, I think if we bet, he's probably calling a lot of pairs, maybe some overcards. All right, so whoops, Jack of Spades comes out. It kind of improves the hands that villain could have. So I think if we bet, he's probably gonna call top pair. He may call the pocket pair below the top card because he doesn't really believe us, and maybe even the middle pair. At that point, that's 41%. I think most players would have called flush draw, probably would have called the open ender as well. So we're looking at 67% that he calls. That means he's folding a third. I think we were getting more folds on flop instead. He checks us. So are there any hands that he wouldn't have checked? Probably the flush. Tell you what, we're gonna say. I think these cards. I think the king highs. He would have bet. I think full house probably slow plays it. Maybe he goes for a little bit. Same thing with the quads are definitely slow plays. So we'll say the full house he checks too, just to try to get us to call. I'd like to think he'd bet some of these other ones like a three of a kind because he's afraid of getting drawn out on. Maybe the overpair at this point he's betting as well. Two pair, your jack sevens. I think jack sevens. I think all the rest of these will be calling, minus the flush draw. Flush draw is probably calling. Okay, that's what we're doing. Yep, we're gonna say that that's his range. I mean, we still have a pretty solid hand if we actually were checking as a slow play. I mean, that's all we have, and at this point, yeah, we should be betting here no matter what. And I didn't. I checked, and that's again just poorly played. Villain checks again. We went check, 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 check. At that point, I do think there's going to be flush draw betting everything, so he's going to be real down here. We checked, checked. He shows king eight. Does he have that? Yeah, he's got king eight. So that was a hand. So I'm going to check out GTO on here. I think my number one mistake is that I didn't see bet here. I think if we see bet and call and the jack comes out, I do think we're probably betting that again, and probably betting as a bluff. I'm not sure if we're going to be betting with the 10-9 though, because we don't really. I mean, we have a gut shot. I mean, the gut shot could actually be used as balance at that point. Maybe something with like a lone spade. Maybe we check because we'll have some draw to the flush. But let's check this out. Villain checks. It's to us. Yeah, we're betting 90 some percent, but we're actually betting smaller. So I guess maybe since he has such a wide range, we go smaller because there's less risk involved, but he should be betting. So if we bet, it's looking like he's calling. Yeah, he should be raising some, but he's calling. So overall, folding 47%. And we're doing this with basically everything. So yeah, I think our mistake, we should have c-bet. I was wrong with the sizing. We need to c-bet smaller. Let's say he calls. And then he checks again to us. What do we do? Now we're betting 77%. So we do slow down what we're betting. 10-9 is still a bet. We're still betting most of our hands. So the nut flush we check, ace-9. No, I take that back. We're betting with the ace-9 ace nine of spades. It's the rest of the ace nine we're checking. Sixes. So okay, some of these pairs that kind of missed their straights, we're slowing down with. We're still betting 77%. So let's say we bet again, which I think 10-9 is. I mean, we have a gut shot, so still betting quite a high frequency. And I think it's because, again, villain has a wide range. He calls a lot. So let's bet he calls. Now, once he calls twice, I don't think we've probably checked behind with our 10-9. Yeah, we're just getting, we're betting less and less and less. So I think my idea of betting is on the right track. Why I didn't do that, I don't know. I probably wasn't at this level really thinking about the sizes of the ranges. Possibility at this point, I was really just thinking about making the most money. So kind of thinking on a flop like this, he's gonna miss. So there's gonna be hands like overpair hands that I check to try to get that extra call. And I think that's the wrong way of thinking. I think I like the GTO big range we bet. Those wide ranges are going to call. Let's get more money those times they do call, because a player that's playing as big as he is right here, yeah, he's probably going to be calling with some junk. So let's capitalize on that. That's the way to make more money, not like slow play and get him to call even more. He's already going to call that. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, hopefully you learned a little something. Don't slow play. Bet he's got a massive range. So if you like this hand and you learned something, look tomorrow for another one.